So there's a little script practice, and there I've put it in your book as well, so that you guys can practice this at home if you've got your partner with you. Um, we can do it now if you want. We can have a little go. Um, and it's about midwife saying, "We'll start you off tonight because you're overdue." And I just want to know if I've missed a. Oh no, I haven't missed a slide. So this is a good way to get into that slide. So let's have a little practice, Natalie. So um, you're at the midwife's appointment. You are maybe, let's say, 39 weeks pregnant, and you have gone in for a checkup because, let's say, you're having a few contractions and you're not really sure, like, whether everything's okay. So the midwife takes a look at your chart, does maybe a scan, I'm not sure, and says, right, I think we'll just start you off tonight since you're here. And oh no, as she says here, you're overdue. So let's go with that. You're 41, you're 40 weeks plus one. Right, well, we just start you off now then. So what would you say?
Um, Probably I'd just go through the what are the benefits, what are the risks, etc. Just literally go down the.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's good.
I imagine as well that because I've seen this brains thing before. I imagine that they know. They also know that women are being encouraged to ask these questions, so they would almost be prepared to give the information, do you think?
Um, on the whole, I would say no. I'd say that generally, the medical practitioners are very surprised to get a question. More than happy to answer, but very surprised to get a question because it tends to be, oh, we'll just pop you on this with a big smile because it's normal for them, but they forget that for you, it's the first time, or it's a massive day in your life. But because it's so normal to them, they just say, well, we'll just pop you, or we'll just start you off this evening. How about that? And without a second thought as to what your process is. So I think that you might find a little element of surprise when you speak to
Okay.
them, but in a good way. Like there's no reason why they shouldn't give you very honest answers about it.
Yeah.
So
Do you think that, so do they ask you or do they tell you what they're doing? Do you see what I mean? Like
hmm,
it would
that's a really good question.
they phrase things as a question and give you an opportunity to ask about it, or would they tell you what they're doing and presume that it's okay?
Right. So because of obviously like the way that we need to speak to people and bedside manner, like everything is supposed to be offered and not just
Okay.
given. So yes, and you can certainly bring that up, like, oh, I haven't been asked about this, or I need to be asked before we go ahead.
Okay.
But we have to remember that the state, the brain state that we're in when we're in labor. So if we go back to last session, we tend to go more inward. So we're talking about somebody who is already in labor, who's gone into hospital, and they it becomes harder for us to converse. We go in more inside ourselves and we don't necessarily we're not ready with the questions that we used to be ready with. So this is why getting prepared beforehand is really helpful, because what can happen is that if a midwife asks us or a doctor asks us like mid-contraction, is it okay if I break your waters? We don't always have the capacity to answer right then. We might be mid-contraction, we might need a little bit more time. So while the question's being asked, it might not be asked at a time that's appropriate for you. And that's why for you, understanding and knowing your boundaries before it all takes place is going to mean the difference between somebody asking that question at a really inopportune moment or saying, I need this explained to me, don't do anything until I finish this contraction. And you can have that kind of communicated on your plan and with your partner, whoever's going to be at the birth with you, can say, give her a moment.
Yeah. Okay.
that makes all the difference. So yes, to answer your question, they certainly are supposed to ask. But might it feel like you've been asked? Not in every scenario. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.